everyone to the De Anza College's 55th annual commencement ceremony. I'm Lloyd Holmes, president of the college. Please stand for our national anthem. Thank you, and please be seated. Before we begin, I invite you to appreciate this land acknowledgement delivered by Amanda Arana, who is graduating this year with degrees in liberal arts and social justice studies. Amanda has been a tutor with the Puente Learning Community and an intern with VITA, the Vasconcelos Institute of Democracy in Action. Amanda.
Greetings, everyone. As we gather here today, it is important to recognize that we are guests on this land. It is important to recognize that as you stood for the national anthem, an anthem that speaks to the flag that is supposed to represent liberty and justice for all, a flag that waves over the land of the free, we have yet to make these statements a reality. As we gather here today, it is important to recognize that no one is free until we are all free. We want to acknowledge that De Anza College is located on the stolen, unceded ancestral homelands of the Ohlone peoples, whose original earth stewards of this land are the Muwekma tribal family of the San Francisco Bay Area, who have understood the interconnectedness of all things and maintained harmony with nature for millennia. And so we honor the Ohlone peoples for their enduring commitment to Mother Earth, despite the colonial violence that they continue to face today. We also wish to emphasize the need to go beyond acknowledgement and move into actions we can take to support our Indigenous communities here and today. I encourage every single one of you to take the time to build those relationships with Indigenous communities around you and do what you can to help uplift them. To learn more about the Ohlone, whose land you're on, and what you can do to stand in solidarity with these communities, please visit deanza.edu/equity office and click on the Land Acknowledgement tab for more info. And with that, I hope you all enjoy today's event. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Foothill De Anza Community College District and our District Chancellor, Dr. Judy Miner, the De Anza College faculty and staff, it is my great pleasure to welcome you, the class of 2022. And that deserves a round of applause. We are delighted to welcome your families and friends as well. This is the first time in 3 years that we have been able to celebrate an in-person graduation ceremony on campus. And I am so happy to see all of you here. So very happy. So let's give ourselves a round of applause for being here today. I want to say that we are here to celebrate you, our graduates, and your accomplishments. You are here because you chose and stayed on a path that required hard work, focus, and determination. You overcame a great many obstacles along the way. during a global pandemic that resulted in illness and loss of life for so many, including some of our own family members and friends, and caused hardship of one form of another for everyone. The challenges brought on by the pandemic were in addition to all the everyday demands that come with having families, jobs, and responsibilities. Yet despite all these challenges, nearly 2,000 students are graduating from De Anza College this year, some with more than one degree. For 2022, we are awarding almost 2,300 degrees, as well as nearly 1,000 certificates. And I think that deserves a round of applause. Graduates, we're so proud of you. We are honored that you chose to come to De Anza and that you have brought to us your experiences, insights, and many other contributions. An event like this ceremony is the result of hard work by many people, by you, the graduates, most of all, but also by many staff members who labored to make this event one that you will remember for a lifetime. This means the overall coordination and physical setup of our site, the sign language interpretation and captioning, the music, the videography, the design and printing of the program, the attention to every last detail, all to honor you, our graduates. Please join me in thanking these dedicated staff members. I would like to acknowledge and offer special thanks to Natalie Aguilar in the President's Office. In the area of administrative services and college operations, I want to thank Pippa Gibson, Sally Gore, Jennifer Mahato, Chris Wynn, Jorge Rodriguez, and the custodial and grounds staff. In the Office of Communications, I want to thank Brendan Bailey, Edwin Karange, Marlo Custodio, Juan Diaz, Alex Harrell, Stephen Wynn, and Eman Seal. Thank you as well to the many classified professionals from across the college who volunteered to assist with the ceremony tonight. Thank you so much. I would now like to welcome two of our locally elected trustees of Foothill De Anza Community College District. Please stand as I briefly introduce you. Our Board of Trustees President, Patrick J. Ahrens. Trustee Gilbert Wong. I also want to introduce the De Anza student trustee who was elected by the student body and served the past year alongside our publicly elected trustees on the Foothill De Anza board, Michelle Fernandez. Thanks to all of our trustees for joining us in our celebration today. We also welcome our district chancellor, Dr. Judy C. Minor. We have two of our vice chancellors with us today. We have Ray Kwan and Susan Chu. I would also like to acknowledge the distinguished faculty members, as well as our classified professionals who have dedicated their careers to educating you, our students, and who are retiring from De Anza College. Those who could not be with us today are acknowledged in your printed program and have been honored at receptions over the past few weeks. We want to thank them again tonight for their exemplary teaching and excellent service to our students and the college. Congratulations to all of our retirees. I would also like to add a special note of gratitude to the families and friends of our graduates, whose deep commitment and support made all the difference along the way. We know that many of you made great sacrifices so that your students could achieve their goals. So graduates, I would ask you to applaud your family and your friends. And for myself, this happens to be a very special day because this is my first in-person graduation. And I have some very important people here with me today because it's my first graduation. So I want to acknowledge my mother, Willietta Holmes, my nephew, stand up, Mom. My nephew, TJ Holmes, stand up, TJ. And also my husband, David Gordon. And once again, to all of our graduate family members by birth or choice and significant others, we honor you and thank you today as well. So graduates, as well as my podium guests, I ask that once again you applaud the families. No day of the year is as meaningful as Commencement Day. Today is the culmination and recognition of our graduates' hard work and sacrifice, along with work and sacrifice by their families in support of achieving their goals. Today is the reward for countless hours of homework, reading, and research, sandwiched between caring for family members, going to work, paying bills, and maybe even trying to have a social life. Can be difficult, can't it? Believe me, I know. Attending a community college was an important step in my life, as has been for many of you. I grew up in rural Mississippi, raised by a single mother in a family that faced its share of challenges. After community college, I transferred to the University of Mississippi, and I know that many of you are continuing on to four-year institutions as well. But whether you are planning to transfer this fall or to enter or re-enter the workforce after today, your education and experiences at De Anza have given you a strong foundation on which you can build. As I think about the class of 2022, I'm struck by the fact that for many of you, your primary experience at De Anza has been attending college during a pandemic that affected so much of our lives over the past 2 years. You graduates, as well as our faculty and staff, have been creative and resourceful in adapting to new modes of learning during this unusual time. But you rose to the challenge. You found new ways of connecting with each other, using online tools like Zoom and Canvas. If you're like me, you probably got tired of Zoom. But yet and still, you built a community at De Anza. Fortunately, as we stand here today, it seems we are through the worst of the recent pandemic. We are hopeful that normal life, whatever normal is returning, even though we know we must still take care to protect ourselves and each other. And I know that no matter what challenges you face in the future, you will confront them with the same creativeness, resourcefulness, and determination that you have shown here at De Anza College. Graduates, in our country today, we're grappling with great problems of political division and social inequity and other injustice. And yet, while looking at you, I'm extremely optimistic about our future. Each of you have worked collaboratively at our college with men and women different from yourself, from different countries and cultures and languages, and have crafted a common ability to celebrate each other and our shared humanity. This is precisely what we need, and never so much in this country as now. And that is why you are so critically important to our future, because we know that you can apply the lessons that you have learned at De Anza to improve your own lives as well as our communities and our nation. Graduates, as you take the next step forward in your life, I ask you to remember what you have received from this college and pay that forward as active members of the communities. At De Anza, our students are tops in transfer and much, much more. The awards and accolades that our students have received this year are far too many to call out here. Hundreds of our graduates have received scholarships, commendations, and acclamations this year. Students from athletics to creative arts, journalism to liberal arts, mathematics to nursing and beyond. We applaud these successes because they indicate the kind of extraordinary talent that we have here at De Anza. And yet, our graduates, each and every one, have other talents and qualities that are not typically recognized through awards. These are the talents of perseverance, will, and intelligence. They are the qualities of commitment and service and caring. Graduates, we at De Anza will always remember you and your contributions to our community. And now, our commencement speaker. Marissa McGuire is a first-generation college student who has forged her own path as an active member of the De Anza College community. Marissa is also this year's winner of the Carl S. Piester Leadership Opportunity Award, a major scholarship given each year to a De Anza student who transfers to the University of California, Santa Cruz. She is graduating this year with an associate degree for transfer in psychology and plans to attend graduate school to become a psychologist. Please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker, Marissa McGuire.
Wow. Greetings to my fellow graduates, families, and friends. My name is Marissa McGuire, and it is an honor for me to be your commencement speaker today, as this is a culmination of all our hard work. Attending college online had its challenges, but today proves that we were all able to reach great successes. We made it! Attending college online offered its challenges, like I said, especially when it came to finding a community on campus. When I started De Anza in 2020, I was very anxious on how I was going to be meeting people, which then popped the question, how was I going to find community at De Anza? Well, I grew up outside the Bay Area, and there was not much representation of individuals who identifies as Latinx. I myself identify as Mexican American, yet growing up, I was raised in an Americanized household. I felt disconnected from the Latinx culture, but I was still eager to learn more about my roots. I needed a community of students like me who would support one another in the De Anza College experience journey. I manifested this because I joined the LEAD program, Latin, gotta love LEAD. It stands for Latinx Empowerment at De Anza. This program is a learning community that offers leadership opportunities focused on both the Latinx community and culture with a supportive familia. Gotta love them. Being part of LEAD was a blessing since I joined a community that helped expand my network. A group of us from the program, which I see some of y'all here, became mentors where we assisted mentees with their academic and personal needs. Besides mentoring, my professors, Miss Veronica over here, and Dr. Nava, I know he's out there, and Liliana Rivera, they all connected me with internships, job opportunities, and programs at various universities. which assisted me with my academia and a step in the work field. LEAD is where I was able to find a supportive community with other students who shared similar backgrounds. LEAD was valuable because of the cultural and professional connections, but I longed for something more at De Anza that would help me academically. When starting De Anza, I was looking through the website and I stumbled upon the Math Performance Success Program, MPS. Yes, I see that some of us were a part of MPS. Love that program as well. I reached out to join the program, and little did I know that it would be much more than just math classes. When I was taking math growing up, I always struggled. I never got the answers correctly. I was always too afraid to ask for help. But then again, who hasn't struggled in math? It's a lot of work. So every one of you who completed your math requirements, I applaud you so much. So be proud of yourselves. But going back to MPS, this program was a safe space for me as I had a group of cheerleaders motivating me through my math classes, but not just in math, but in our journeys at De Anza. MPS was a sigh of relief because I found a community of students who were eager to overcome their math insecurities. Of course, I can't turn the paper right now. Having had the opportunity to collaborate with supportive peers did ensure success in my math grades, as well as a lifetime-long connections that I will be cherishing forever. Melissa Maturino, I see you somewhere. I know you're behind me. But to everyone in MPS, thank you for offering a supportive community. So, something I learned from the communities I was part of at De Anza is that each community offers a distinctive experience, which is the hidden beauty. You never know what and where communities will lead you towards. Now, think of yourself as a little seedling. I know, just think about it for a moment. With a supportive, with nurtured soil that will help you grow into a leafy tree. Finding people in your life who are supportive of you is something extremely special, as they are the roots of your tree. Your roots, your nurturing soil, your community will help you find new opportunities to grow your tree trunk. When you meet and join new communities, you develop branches in all sorts of directions, as each will offer a sense of belonging. Each branch of communities provide other networks for you to be part of, which are the leaves blossoming all around you. Soon enough, you will be a leafy tree that has met many people along the way. From the tree you create along the journey, you will have found a community, a familia, and a group of cheerleaders. To the class of 2022, here are my closing notes to you. Whether you are entering the workforce or transferring to another university, find yourself a community who will help you blossom into that leafy tree I was just mentioning. Communities will give you the opportunity to connect with new people, reach for your goals, and have you feel understood. Each community will open up greater opportunities wherever your journey goes after De Anza. A Mexican proverb states, "They tried to bury us, but they did not know we were seeds." When times get rough, remind yourself that you are that seedling who will continue to grow from your strong roots. Your branches, your leaves will guide you through the obstacles you encounter, and your trunk will continue to ground you. Each part of your tree, your communities, will work in harmony to support you. I know each and every one of you will hold great success in the future. I wish you all the best of luck And congrats again to the class of 2022. Woo!
Thank you, Marissa, for such an inspirational message about finding and creating community at De Anza. We are so proud of you as a student, and we will be proud of you. We will be proud to count you among our alumni. So thank you once again. I would now like to recognize 3 individuals who will be presented honorary medallions at a later date for their significant contributions to De Anza College. We have Dr. Cheryl Baum, President of the Academic Senate. Today she is represented by Ms. Mary Pape, the Vice President of the Senate. Mary, would you please stand? We have Ms. Sarah Wallace, President of the Classified Senate, represented today by Ms. Angelica Escobar Moreno, our Program Coordinator for VITA, the Vasconcelos Institute for Democracy in Action. And finally, we have Ms. Anahi Ruvalcaba, who just completed her term as President of De Anza Student Government. I have to tell you that I have on a presidential medallion. And so when she saw my medallion today, she wanted to know what it was and asked me why she didn't have one. So, because she was the student body president. So I've got to get her some kind of medallion for her service. Each recipient has given hundreds of hours of dedicated service to the college throughout the year. And so I want to say once again, thanks to each of the recipients. I would also like to introduce the 3 winners of the President's Award for Outstanding Service. As we announced this spring, the award recipients were selected from nominations submitted by the campus community and are intended to recognize a faculty member, a classified professional, and an administrator for outstanding service to the college. They are profiled on the college website, and their names will be added to a plaque in the lobby of the administration building. First, we have Brian Malone, an instructor in English. He's the recipient of the faculty category. We have Dana Kennedy, Senior Administrative Assistant for Business, Computer Science, and Applied Technologies. She's the recipient for our classified professionals. And on stage today, and I will ask her to stand, is Alicia Cortez, Dean of Equity and Engagement. She is our administrative recipient. So thanks to each of you for your outstanding service to the college. De Anza College students receive nearly $500,000 each year in scholarships. As part of our commencement ceremony today, we will present 3 special student awards. First, it's my pleasure to introduce the 2 student recipients of this year's President's Award for Determination and Perseverance. First is David Lechuga. David is graduating with an associate degree for transfer in business administration and plans to major in business at San Jose State. He knows about the subject. David has run his own business, cutting hair for his friends and fellow students, and used the money to help his family. He's also been a positive influence in his classes at De Anza, where he's impressed his instructors with his thoughtfulness and determination to make the most of every class. Congratulations, David. Our second President's Award recipient is Rose Liu, who is also graduating with an associate degree for transfer in business administration. Rose is headed to UC Berkeley this fall. Rose also has experience running her own business, selling digital merchandise to help her family. She's an active member of Impact AAPI Learning Community and also interned with the Public Policy School here at De Anza. Congratulations, Rose. I would also like to introduce this year's recipient of the DeHart Scholarship for Service, presented in memory of A. Robert DeHart, founding president of De Anza College, who served in that role for 25 years. This year's winner is Aminata Kofuma Henry. Aminata is graduating this year with an associate degree for transfer in psychology and is transferring to Sacramento State. Here at De Anza, she has been active in the Umoja learning community and was president of the Black Student Union. This year, she helped lead a clothing drive that raised more than $2,000 to buy jackets, hats, and other items for homeless and low-income residents of San Jose. Because of her leadership and commitment to helping others, Aminata was also honored by De Anza's Equity Action Council as Student Equity Champion of the Year. Again, congratulations, Aminata. Now, we're coming to that moment that each of you have been waiting for. We're about to begin introducing the members of this year's graduating class. But first, Dr. Thomas Ray, Interim Associate Vice President of Instruction, will certify the degrees on behalf of the faculty. Dr. Ray.
Good afternoon, graduates, families, and friends. President Holmes, it is my honor to inform you that by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Foothill De Anza Community College District, I hereby certify that the De Anza graduating class of 2022 has completed requirements for graduation as set forth by the California Community Colleges Board of Governors.
Thank you, Dr. Ray. Graduates, please rise for the conferring of the degrees. By the authority vested in me by the California Community Colleges Board of Governors and the Board of Trustees of the Foothill De Anza Community College District, I confer the degree of Associate in Arts for Transfer, Associate in Science, or Associate in Science for Transfer on the class of 2022. Graduates, you now have the privilege of moving your tassel from the right side to the left side of your mortarboard. Please be seated again, graduates. Before you come to the stage, graduates, here are a few things to keep in mind. As we get close to calling out your name, please follow the directions of our wonderful volunteers as they guide you to the stage. Those introducing you, our graduates, are Ms. Alicia Cortez, Dean of Equity and Engagement, Ms. Wafu Liu, Chair of our Mandarin Department, Ms. Debbie Lee, Dean of Intercultural and International Studies, and Ms. Angelica Escobar Moreno, Program Coordinator for VITA, the Vasconcelos Institute for Democracy and Action, and for HEFAS, or Higher Education for AB 540 students. Joining me in congratulating you today will be the President of the Foothill De Anza Board of Trustees and the De Anza College alum, Patrick J. Aarons. We also ask that once your name is called and you walk across this stage, that you return to your seat and remain seated until the end of the program.
Zachary Wilson.
Aaron Williams.
Joseph Ure.
Yun Nan.
Jacqueline Bauya.
Evelyn Pimentel.
Jennifer Bryant.
Tia Valdez.
Carolina Felix Garcia.
Luis Bryant Angeles.
Melissa Miseni Bahulu.
Fong An Fan.
Alicia y Peña López.
Ibrahim Dabashi.
Ni Quach.
Maximiliano Garcia.
Maritza Campos.
Kevin Kai.
Cynthia Guadalupe Aceves Gómez.
Carlos Pérez.
Ulisu Guerrero.
Tuan Lei.
Michaela Tumber.
Michaela Maligaya.
David Sutaria.
Cristo Ramirez Morales.
Jessica Lily White.
Jaden Pickford.
Jennifer Velázquez Pérez.
Sheena Rose.
Kelly Fan.
Spencer Denton. Ryan Chu.
Isabela Valleira.
Victoria Pañonasca.
Alyssa Pham.
Ana Cabreros.
Timothy Pham.
Carolina Nava.
Zen Matu Villa.
Vitali Powell.
Annabelle Law.
Enrico Vitar.
Lukman Yusuf Saib.
Anubar Sauni.
Christine Nguyen.
Tristan Bush.
Quinn Dang.
Christian Jared Aguirre Mercado.
Jason Rust.
Sanjukta Karaman.
Kevin Nguyen. Andrew Copeland.
Esperanza González.
Sean Abando Baroga.
Audrey Pham.
Jackie Wong.
Alyssa Smith.
Add my middle last name, it's Gonzalez in the middle.
Jimmy Gonzalez Palafox.
Angélica Contreras.
Christopher Dodds.
Marcia Garcia.
Tam Nguyen.
Jerron Jones.
Sophia Victoria Hackworth.
Jennifer Jacobo.
Tara Yagmawi.
Isamar Palos Naranjo.
Camille Da Silva Schmidt.
Leon Nguyen.
Anthony Pecoraro.
Marianne Gonzalez.
Andres Gonzalez Dacpano.
Thang Sang Da.
Christy Ondo.
Ngoc Vân Ai Nguyen.
Miriam Bianca Pineda.
Arthur Umarov.
Sophine Susie Odio.
Joseph Hoover.
Maxiam Bravo.
Kevin Shea.
Tuan Lei.
Sahil Hazashar.
Juliana Sumajit.
Johnny Baca.
Morgan Chiang.
Vixel Victoria Sugitan.
Christine.
Fnu Kushbu.
Christine Camacho.
Heidi Chung.
Tranmi Navong.
Norma Valeria Alcaraz Alvarez.
Kelly Chong.
Kobe Okinaba.
Enili Cristini Fernandez Barmeister.
Karina Aguilar Ortega.
Susan Doe.
Christopher Akinde.
Pedro Luis Jiménez Sepúlveda.
Pedro Gómez Villegas.
Mirka Lisbeth Ábalos Durán.
Marcos Torres.
Tiffany Huang.
Rockland Curtis.
Gigi Tan.
Giada Matera.
María Carmen Moreno Muñoz.
Lone Nguyen.
Shelly Queen Tran.
Iliana Berlinescu.
Tu Dong.
Margarita Fedorova.
Sabrina Díaz Erazo.
Gabriel Espinosa Flores.
Joshua Mendoza.
Alejandro Martínez Loera.
Gustavo Alonso Sención Palomar.
Victor Reyes.
Zarlene Adriano Malagayo.
Natesh Bandit.
Nam Ho.
Frank David Catanzaro II.
Nasheed Sigiti.
Sajan Maharjan.
Catherine Hernandez.
Johnny Johnson.
Dulce García Tolentino.
Andrea de Jesus.
Shauna Gutierrez.
My turn, right?
Jennifer Buxa.
Sophia Lau.
Cecilia Rodríguez Chávez.
Yulisa Carrasco.
Joshua Alvarez.
Jasmine Mendez Javares.
Evangeline Reina.
Brandon De Leon.
Lac Nguyen Pham.
Mónica Rose Chiquete.
Victoria Rejano.
Chad Cornell.
Rebecca Carey.
Ingrid De Souza Suarez.
Luke Mackinson.
Julia Pérez.
Verónica Jaylene Jiménez.
Zachary Patty.
Natalie Spizak.
Hermie Placheta.
Juan Carlos López.
Diana Elizabeth Acosta.
Giselle Melo.
Jonna Borden.
Alexander Knopfsinger Camp.
Vianet Herrera Arias.
Rebecca Isofs.
Nancy Guevara.
Camilla Yusupova.
Stephen Elanese.
Nicole Itliong.
Pascal Chavez.
Mike.
Andrew McClellan.
Michael Davis.
Annalise Butner.
Ken Bang.
Patrick Ramos.
Desi Mecheva.
Adrian Yabut.
Andrea Infante.
Carlos Buchol.
Marta Charnchunka.
Adrian Sandoval.
Joshua Soda.
Isaiah Jeremiah Reyes.
Nicholas Wingate.
Kimberly Baibayan.
Ariel Terzi.
Ron Pabelonio.
Emily Data.
Michelle Smith.
Isaac Pelayo Bibian.
Lauren May Ramos.
Joshua Shrine Gruber.
Alina Carter.
Omar Hidrogo.
Lisbeth Trejo Maldonado.
Zion Cooper.
Fabiola Hernández Aguayo.
Elnaz Mohammed Ali.
Kyrie Castronuevo Torres.
Alexandria Olson.
Nak Fan.
Natalie Elias Monti.
Leticia Ayala.
Nancy Escobedo.
Vienna Palafox.
Drake Holtquist.
Marco Hernández.
Talitha Bradley Booker.
Alberto Hernández.
Giovanni Fabian Torres.
Kelly Ann Alejo Cortez.
Hector Osorio.
Ernest Sarvan.
Unamta Shufkat.
Kathleen Clear.
Gloria Ruiz.
Capri Pezzella.
Laura Hernandez.
Jingjing Huntley.
Shadi Bataraf.
Thomas Azrat.
Chi Do Andres.
Belaine Salilu.
Alexandra Hernandez Salazar.
Alexis Ranger Dunbar.
Leslie Torres Alvarez.
Kirby James Exiniano.
Vong Nguyen.
Ethan Shafia.
Quinn Son.
Judith Dietz.
Gia Nam.
Tammy Ding.
Tessa Vong.
Delilah Calderon.
Bao Nguyen.
Diana Plumley Samaron Fernandez.
Kalkian Tadizi Mamo.
Mother and daughter Savannah and Stephanie Mariscal.
Vanessa Marie Campaña.
Alan Nelson.
Mónica González.
Martin Guzman.
Selena Karen.
Alexander Aldama.
Charlie Cocker.
Rosa Buslo.
Nayeli Anaí Morales. Danny
Pauline Cárdenas.
Danny Johnson.
King Teller.
Julie Marianne Carpus. Tatiana Hadirka.
Sarah Belu Gardola.
Andre Rojas.
Akansha Nain.
Ira Ibrera.
Mumtaz Akhtar.
Benjamin Calderon Jr.
Shubham Satyabrat.
Anna Pombar Mello.
Nikki Singh.
Barbara Lopez Carrero.
Shubalavi.
Kayla Marie Santos.
Shuta Maheta.
Alexander Suarez Ramirez.
Cecilia Prasad.
Joseph Abadia.
Tara Ling de Grande.
Armani Brunfield Cruz.
Lavania Chirburn.
Alex Alex Vitello.
Tiffany Madonna Sandoval.
Nathan Tien Tran.
Esperanza Arreola.
Mario Martinez.
Kimberly Merlou Rose.
Jesse Raulio Triana Francisco.
Denise King.
Ermina Catherine Isabel Francisco.
Tyler Tai.
Sheila Rosas Vasquez.
Randall J. Duan Bamberger.
Marcia Saker.
Linda Landeros.
Eileen Fullmeyer.
Maria Medina.
Jericho Briones Mendoza.
Christina Von V. Nguyen.
Roque Matus.
Irene Saraye Orozco.
Queenie Dow.
Grace Barrios.
Giovanni Zamora.
Alia Tovar.
Eliza Joyce Marquez.
María Montserrat Alcázar.
Bao Ngoc Tai.
Amy Jade Vasquez.
Trem On Tran.
Nagin Hagiri.
Esmeralda Ramírez Mejía.
Adriana Trinidad España.
Arthur Moraes.
Timothy Nguyen.
Saljuk Hassan.
Bing Tong.
Henry Choi.
Robert Lako.
Edward Jefferson Halim.
Sarah Sangari.
Sharon Theodora Utomo.
Erin Valdecañas.
Rachel Graves Michelle.
Luisa Eloy Colto Correa.
Ocean Winkle.
Anjanette Liasos Zumel.
Alyssa Bruce.
Amy Arnes.
Evangelina Rodríguez.
Elsie Uwa.
Priscila Guzman.
Stacy Lopez.
Amon Stewart.
Jeremiah Ortiz.
Skylar Henry.
Ariana Garcia.
Alexandra Herrera.
Fong New Nguyen Lee.
Leslie Álvarez Hernández.
Jennifer Robledo.
Sebastián García.
Evan Martínez.
Jesús Alexis Penasola Catalán.
Zaina Anwar.
James Antonio McCloy.
Jacinda Tirona.
Kira Medina.
Edgar Ramos.
Diana Gama.
Christopher Perez.
Marlene Magaña Gómez.
Alejandra Galvez.
Sofía Pomeran.
Eileen Rachel Pineda.
Jose Espinosa.
And you are a queen.
Shanette Naylor.
Gemily Rivera Mora.
Kimberly Alexa Martinez.
Jennifer Arteaga Moran.
Carl Andre Victor Esquera Vizcara.
Gabriel Gedwood Wolf. Francisco Cortez.
Jacqueline Monzo.
Albert Bourbon.
Lisa Nguyen.
Sarah Randisi.
Kathy Bayatoni.
Karen Anaí Castillo Pisano.
Adrian Morioki.
Andrea Macías.
Ben Loristo.
Kathy Gabriela Hernández.
Isabela García.
Carolina Madrigal.
Senaí Torres.
Cresto Madrid.
Oscar Hernández.
Ariana Michelle Pérez Cruz.
Patricia Ibarra.
Andrea Velasco.
Donna Esmeralda Ceja Cruz.
Tiffany Cherie Harper.
Yasmin Perez.
Jada Kiana Perez Lara.
Areli Hernández.
Lisbeth Paola Prado Chaides.
Dana Yahia.
Christopher Coleman.
Marisa Casas.
Vivian Wang.
Brianna Molina Moreno.
Vika Sinipata Nang.
Salvador Castro Jr.
Jason Morang.
Julio César Hernández Cruz.
Karen Ruiz Muñoz.
Lizette Leonetti.
Diana Flores Fonseca.
Alejandra Galindo.
Marisol García.
Omar Lorenzana.
Elizabeth Ramos.
Sabrina Palacios.
Lexer Daganan.
Yolanda Alcala.
JP Sugitan.
Paula Daniel Biatang.
Jasmine Bonilla.
Darren Ten.
Melina Chavez.
Gabriel Aguilar Piñón.
Moraima Karina Morfin.
Gilbert Carballo Rodríguez.
Edison Contreras.
Joshua Doe.
Vanessa Valenzuela.
Nicole Takulag.
John Koska.
Yuridia Barajas.
Samuel Cominares.
Simranpreet Kaur Bati.
Carissa Seaman.
Prina Patel.
Lisette Saldana.
Valentina Rivera.
Emily Rose Costa.
Vanessa Guido Sánchez.
Frida Clarice Reyes.
Romanique Dejan Renee Edwards.
Priscilla Quiñones.
Kenya Nguyen.
Ángela Góngora.
Yvette Ramírez España.
Melanie Milagros Martínez Mendoza.
Michael Heber.
Nicholas Gustafson.
Larisa Correa.
Elizabeth Valencia Rodríguez.
Aniko Nelson.
Miguel Preciado.
Brenda Hernández.
Rachel Rose Adriana Rodan.
Claudette Julia Bumagat.
Cassandra P. De Sales.
Rose Liu.
María Laura Contreras Mendoza.
David Lechuga.
No, Jiménez. Don Ricky Jiménez Sparks.
Aminata Kofuma Henry.
Karina Gómez Serrano.
Anaí Rubalcaba.
Fong Tong.
Amanda Arana.
Johan Gutiérrez.
Michelle Fernandez.
Christina Cordova Tobias.
Marissa McGuire.
Tree Fan. Refiloe Mofoking.
Juliet Otero Rodríguez.
Suvarna Avadanu. Try that one more time. Suvarna Avadanula.
Carla Cabrera.
Sung Luen Nguyen. Danisha Veal Sweeney.
You did a beautiful job yesterday. Leslie Montano Ayon.
Ruhama Samson Katema.
Nathan Patrick Dyer.
Zia Oria.
Thank you, everyone. I would like to ask for your patience while our graduates and those on stage depart. After that, those of you who did not have a chance earlier to visit our red carpet photo op may want to stop in parking lot C while there is still some daylight, if you'd like to take photos with some special De Anza backdrops and cutouts, including me. And let's take a final moment to recognize the De Anza College graduating class of 2022. We wish you all the best.
A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on! It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on! Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate and party with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah, yeah. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on! Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times, come on! Let's celebrate.